for that tensions didn't get too high after the play. Now with this play, they did call a flagrant 1 on Caitlin Clark. They said that it was unnecessary contact on the play, but I immediately knew, I was like, oh crap, this is gonna be something that goes viral. A bunch of people are gonna talk about it. People are going to make it into something bigger than it needs to be.
Angel Reese got benched on live TV, and this wasn't one of those give the starter a break moments. It was the kind of benching that makes you stare at the coach like, really? But Angel didn't sulk for a second. She flipped the script and went straight into savage mode. Her reaction had reporters stunned, fans buzzing, and probably even the Gatorade bottles sweating. It wasn't just a response. It was a full-on mic drop with extra sparkle and attitude. And what she did next? Yeah, you'll want to strap in for that.
Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever is currently putting the beats on the Chicago sky. And I'm telling you right now, Angel Reese is furious because she wants to make it her business to beat Caitlin Clark this year. And I'm telling you right now,
Angel Reese got pulled from the game on national TV. And no, this wasn't some casual lineup adjustment or clever strategic switch. This was the basketball version of being told, sit down and rethink your decisions. And let's be clear, this wasn't your everyday sideline moment. This was a full-on televised spectacle, unfolding with the kind of dramatic timing you only see when the sports gods are lounging around, sipping tea and watching ESPN like it's an episode of NCAA Housewives.
Black and White Sports supporters, well, I told you guys there would be a follow-up video on the nuclear fallout. That's exactly what it's been. Over the take foul, as Caitlin Clark is calling it, and that's a great way to say it. It was a take foul. She was trying to prevent a wide-open layup, although one could argue that she might have missed it anyway, on Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese went absolutely, utterly berserk.
So, what sparked the downfall of Queenry? Oh, nothing major. Just pure, unfiltered rage bursting out like a Marvel villain who skipped rehearsal. All because Caitlin Clark, yes, that Caitlin Clark, whose shooting range practically reaches from Iowa to the outer planets, committed a foul. Not a technical, not a flagrant, just your standard, everyday whistle. The kind that gets called 16 times a quarter when everyone's ankles are melting and elbows are flying around like they're trapped inside a blender.
Got this little white girl and Caitlin Clark out here busting that flat out, bro. Triple dub. And I don't want to hear none of that stat pattern stuff, bro. She had a triple double, and that's just the facts, man. That's just the facts. So I see a lot of people saying, oh, she fouled her hard, bro. It was a malicious play. Man, that wasn't no malicious play. This is a malicious play. Check it out. What y'all gonna say?
But Angel Reese didn't just respond. She detonated. If the arena had a smoke alarm, the fourth quarter would have been relocated to the parking lot. And let's be real, this wasn't your typical competitive fire. It wasn't two elite players sharpening each other. It wasn't playful banter. This was raw, undiluted hostility with a sprinkle of, I hope your laces snap, mid-crossover. The glare Angel shot at Caitlin could have melted metal on contact. And the energy she unleashed? It made Godzilla vs. Kong look like a gentle afternoon tea with Mr. Rogers.
We need to talk about the hard foul. Caitlin Clark fouls Angel Reese while going up for a layup. People are making a big deal out of this. And me, I'm looking at it like, look, it was just a hard foul. I don't even think it was flagrant. The only thing that was flagrant was Angel Reese's response, right? How she responded to the hard foul. And obviously you can see there's still a little hate. There's still a little hate out there. But I'm going to say this. WNBA, lean in on this. Lean in on this.
But here's where it really got wild. Reese didn't just glare from across the court. She charged toward Caitlin like she was competing in Survivor. Hardwood Feuds edition. If body language had a volume button, Angel was basically shouting, "I've got time today." You could practically hear the courtside announcers choking on their popcorn. So what actually happened? The refs, for once, nailed the call. Nothing extra. And Caitlin? She had that stunned. What dimension did I just teleport into? Look, the kind you'd expect from someone blindsided during a spelling bee. Because, honestly, she didn't do much besides exist. Yeah, She committed a foul, but Angel reacted like Caitlyn insulted her jump shot, her Spotify playlist, and her grandma all at once. Then came the benching. And not the gentle, take a breather kind. This was the coach avoiding eye contact like, absolutely not. Sit down. The crowd went from hype to horror in seconds. And Angel didn't say a word back, which somehow made it even more intense. She sat with the kind of smoldering anger people get when they're told they can't bring snacks into the movie theater. And then, the internet went nuclear. Twitter didn't just react, it detonated. Angel's fans were split between she's just passionate and, okay, why did this turn into WWE SmackDown? Meanwhile, Caitlyn's fans were pumping out memes faster than Angel sat on the bench. Within minutes, the timeline looked like a chaotic mashup of First Take and Maury.
Walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul. What was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know? If either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And Angel's response? Oh, brace yourself. She didn't apologize. She didn't soften it. She didn't even pretend to. She doubled down. With all the grace of a runaway freight train and the subtlety of a jackhammer, Angel came for Caitlyn like someone declared open season. She made one thing unmistakably clear. This isn't a rivalry. It's a personal score. If she kept a dartboard in her room, we all know whose face would be front and center. You could see it in everything. Her stance, her expression, the way she answered questions with the emotional force of a Category 5 storm. This wasn't competitive fire. This was a declaration. If looks counted as fouls, Caitlyn would have racked up 6 and a technical before warm-ups even ended. And now let's talk consequences, because the NCAA can preach sportsmanship all day, but they were replaying that clip like it was the trailer for their next PR meltdown. You don't lose your mind mid-game, verbally torch a fellow athlete on national television, and stroll away with a handshake and a sports drink. This is a 1990s NBA chaos. Angel Reese is in hot, boiling, steam shooting out the lid trouble. NCAA officials are probably forming an emergency committee right now. Khakis, clipboards, and full panic mode, frantically searching appropriate punishment that doesn't tank March Madness ratings.
Sugarcoating this is pure hate. Pure hatred for that white girl in India. Excuse me. I need to specify. Sorry. The one that wears 22 in Indiana.
Her coach, meanwhile, looked like a man slowly realizing that managing Angel Reese might require a conflict resolution certificate and maybe a side gig in professional babysitting. His post-game presser had the vibe of someone trying to explain his browser history to his wife. Forced smiles, heavy sighs, and the classic fallback line. We'll handle this internally. Translation: I have absolutely no clue what she's going to do next, and I'm low-key praying the league suspends her before I have to. The fans? Total identity crisis. Half of them were yelling, "She's just passionate." The other half were typing, "Can you get ejected for giving side-eye?" into Google. And the rest were just here for the chaos, popcorn ready, watching the WNBA morph into a sneaker-clad reality show. And let's be real, this isn't the first time Angel has delivered a full dramatic production on the hardwood. Since her NCAA days, she hasn't just played with emotion. She plays like someone leaked her diary on the Jumbotron. But last night, that was a whole different category. That was DEFCON 1 in a ponytail. That was flip the table, Royal Rumble energy in a league that supposedly has rules and referees. She tore around the court like someone spoiled the finale of her favorite TV show. This wasn't competitive fire. This was animated supervillain theatrics. Honestly, if she had dragged out a steel chair, nobody would have been surprised. The only things missing were a dramatic theme song and a fog machine, and honestly, those wouldn't have felt out of place.
Do you like the way your players responded there, just to that moment? It looked like somebody was coming over, talking with Angel, coaching staff was talking with her to help calm her down, make sure that it didn't escalate any further.
Yeah, I think that it's a little misrepresentation to calm her down. I think emotions were high on both sides, and so I think Angel reacted in a way that any of us would react in a moment like that.
And while Angel was stewing on the bench, Caitlyn was out there still draining shots like nothing in the universe was on fire. That's right, one star was melting down, and the other was casually leveling up. You could practically hear Nike's marketing team scrambling to rewrite their scripts. Okay, less chaos, more wholesome leadership maybe. Meanwhile, sports analysts are absolutely unraveling. Is Angel Reese suddenly a liability? Is Caitlin Clark the only adult in the building? Should the league hire a team therapist immediately? Everywhere you look, someone has a take. Half of them sound like tinfoil hat conspiracies, and the other half read like dramatic monologues from an ESPN soap opera nobody requested. And behind the scenes? Oh, you know the chaos is top tier. Teammates walking around like they're navigating a haunted house, trying not to set off any emotional landmines.
Caitlin Clark said, "No layups in my house," and sent Angel Reese flying like it was a Southwest commercial. That flop had Academy Award winner written all over it. But the refs really looked at that and said, "Yep, that's definitely murder," and gave Caitlin a flagrant like she pulled a knife out mid-play. And Angel tried to run up on her and said, "You're crazy as fuck, what the fuck are you doing?" And Caitlin's all like, "This is just basketball. It's either a layup or free throws. Pick one."
It's just a good take foul, you know. If either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And just like that, Caitlin Clark dropped a triple-double, won by 35.
Angel Reese had a brutal night. While she fumed on the bench, Caitlin Clark kept scoring like nothing was happening, and suddenly all the pressure was on Angel. Analysts questioned her composure, fans argued online, and her meltdown overshadowed everything else. Instead of showing leadership, she turned the game into a personal drama, and now she's facing the consequences: backlash, memes, and likely a punishment. What could have been a great moment became a cautionary tale about how unchecked emotion can derail even the biggest stars.